Bonjour. How is everybody? I'm I'm excited to be back. This this is week 2 of working on this story. It's great because I'm trying to like talk around what it is so YouTube doesn't like hate me. Like I don't know if technically saying the words is against the community guidelines, but I don't want to find out. So, yeah, we're just wait for people to come in. Um if any of y'all follow my Instagram. Well, let me start with this. Some of y'all may notice that I'm a little more red than normal. Um, when I tell you that I've made some mistakes in planning. Let me make sure my connection's okay. Yeah, connection's all right. Sure. Yep, my audio's on. All right, cool. I tell you that I'm not the best at planning. Um, so I went to the beach yesterday. If y'all follow my Instagram, you would see that I went to the beach. The problem is that I decided not to bring sunscreen. So we we ended up a little red. Oh, was the Skittle factory? Son, what are you talking about? Colin, you saying I'm a Skittle? You saying I'm a Skittle? Hey, Majahadra. Oh, glad to see both of y'all. Yeah, I'm sorry I had to leave early, Soton. I was at the beach, so I to watch you and support you best as I could. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll give it a few minutes, a few minuto. Ein Minuten, bitte. Hop right into it. Hope you. I did enjoy the beach, other than getting burnt. There's So we stayed. It was me and someone else, and we stayed pretty much all night, all day rather. We got there at around noon, and we left around 9. And in my time zone, 9 by 9 o'clock, the sun is fully down. And last night was it a harvest moon or was it a blood moon? I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but it was just bright red. The moon was bright red, just emanating light. So it was fun. I enjoyed seeing that, and there was also at some point I just like stood out because like the light of like the boardwalk behind me and then the darkness of nothing out in front of me. No, it's like oh, but it was ultimately a good experience. I spent some time reading about syntax. Soton, what server maintenance are you doing? Are you watching this while you're at work? That doesn't seem very smart, Soton. Or are you just at home, like, looking... Wait, how do you... Explain. Explain yourself. Okay. So, let's, I think we're gonna hop into it. Yeah. So, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Welcome. We are returning to the donkey beater story. It's, for those of you who don't know, the donkey beater story is one of the go-tos for translation for some people. Definitely after I'm done with this translation, I'm gonna do this more often. But like, this is up there. This is like up there with like the North Wind and the Sun, by means of like, hey, what should I translate? Oh, translate this. Definitely not at the same level of like, definitely not at the same level as like the Universal Declaration of Human Rights for translation, or the Our Father. So, but yeah, we are just working on translating this. Mahajahadra. Um. Oh yes, the Hiye or Hije or the project, Soton. I see. But yeah, before we get into translating it, I think I'm gonna read through it so everybody knows what we're translating. So, there once was a man who beat his donkey every day. One day, a second man, who was a neighbor, came to the donkey beater and asked, "Why do you beat your donkey?" The donkey beater said, "Beating is all the donkey knows. I must beat him until he learns how to behave." Donkey beater then went to his home and discovered his dinner wasn't ready, so he beat his wife. His neighbor heard the screams of the donkey beater's wife and came to the door. "You should not beat your wife so much," said the neighbor. "I beat her until she learns to have dinner ready on time." Some time later, the neighbor saw the donkey beater beating his son in a field. This time he did not say anything, but seized the donkey beater and began to beat him with a heavy cudgel. When the donkey beater asked why his neighbor was beating him, his neighbor replied, "I will beat you until you learn not to beat others." So, I think the first order of business is, oh my gosh, if I can spell. What's the word? Cudgel, cudgel. Because I don't know if I've been saying it correctly. Cudgel.
Cudgel.
Cudgel. Cudgel. Got it. So yeah. We're gonna work on this. We check chat before we go in. Ooh. Find picking a random book page and translating that is good. You know, that doesn't sound half bad. That does not sound half bad. Alright, so what do we have translated already? We have, "Once there was a man who beat his donkey every day." So, literal translation, imagine. I just thought about watching Soton stream yesterday and hearing the great phrase. Imagine taking English lit and not learning literal English. So, the literal translation of Ashatane Satokai Ke ho hinoi me amaroi some isha e patemo atu. I forgot about this. Those are those are 4 consecutive vowel amoras in one word. So patemo atu. Forgot about that. Oh. Okay, so before us this happened, a long time ago, a man returned to his donkey's beating at every morning, which translates to, there was once a man who beat his donkey every day. Okay. And Keahotatoi Humesha Somo Keahoarimea Ro Osome Tolash Losha. Okay. So a man, second, so a second man. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what we're translating, or what we already have translated. Keahotatoi had gone, or was, or went. Went to it. So went to it. A man hitting donkey of him. What was Dolosha? Well, look. Oh, this. Proximate. What was Losha? Oh, there's no lo, there's no la anymore. I forgot. We had exchanged all of that, all of the L's for R's. Torosha. What's very Estonian? Yes. Oh, with an O above it. Hello, Yogi. How are you doing? What am I loaning from the northern dialect? Oh, make Losha a loan from the northern dialect? Let me figure out what it means first, okay? Cause that's Rosha, not here. Not here. Not here. Where's the Rosha? What is a Rosha under? Oh! Rosha. Okay. So. Okay. Ooh, so. after, I guess. So. Oh, after this. Asked. Hola. Losha to hola. Huh. What? Okay, so why would I be borrowing a word that literally means after? Like after that. Like what can a loaning of a word that means something that happened after or behind? So Torosha. Torosha. I mean, so the thing is, I could see like that. I could see them like stealing it as a sort of like, hey, this will mean specifically temporally after. But Rosha, Rosha is like the. Yeah, because it's weird. This is weird. Nesa is different. It's called after, but when we say after, like in English, when we say after, we say after that. But Nesa is referring to like before this, even though it means after. Even though it's we might translate it as after, we're using it as like after, past tense, past tense. Um, Rosha means like looking at it, it's coming towards me. So, but yeah, it's like I would say like, hey, this might be a specifically temporal sort of translation, like hola, um, being used as a temporal translation. But I don't think that would happen. Or correction, I think that would be used for more purposes than just the time. Um, so like if I were to steal a word like hola, it could turn into like a translation of I don't know, like some sort of expectation as well. So it's like looking forward to this. Um, huh. I don't know. I'll have to think. I'll have to. But I'm going. So we're just gonna and pop a big old asterisk. Dosha. Hola. All right. Again, I'm gonna put an asterisk. Like so we know that that's borrowing. So I'll come back to this. We'll have to we'll have to come back to add positions at some point. But for now, I'll just do Rosha. Rosha, to Rosha. Um, let's think. Let us think. So, after this, he said, if I have no L, then it would be loaned in as ora. Or hear me out. We reintroduce L into the language. last time I said no L's, and now I say only in loans. I mean, if the Romans could do it, why can't we? If Shakespeare could do it, why can't we? But yeah. Ora. Like what you did in Northern, just reintroduce a sound that died out in one language. Rosha, do Rosha. After this. Ooh, hold up. Rosha, do. Let's do it like that. Because it is a prepositional language. Or, yeah. Ah! I like that. Oh, that happened in the northern dialect. Oh, that's why you got the. That's why you used the. Okay. So it would be ora either way. So we'll take the proto form of lusumi. Lusumi. Uh yeah, that E is a a schwa. After proximate. Uh so huh. How can I do like the conjunctive phrase? Not a conjunct. Cooperative. I could say like with then. So like I believe ro ro chateau ro chateau ro chateau. So with after this. Verb phrase conjunction. Verb phrase is common. Not conjunction. Like I guess it's comitative. I guess it's yeah, comitative. Um. So let's look for a word that means to say. Ah. Ah, to make do. Gotta love that gotta love that positive. So with after this, what tense are we talking? Talking remote perfective? Kufa orama. O orama. Kufa o orama. So then that becomes with, after, proximate, positive, vote, if V, positive, do, so to say oh, it's at this point in time I wish there was another gender other than animate that I could just plop. I wish there was more than two genders that I could plop different classes into. Like same level of animacy, different classes. Like how English does gender. Oh, do I have a one, two strikes? Okay, there we go. One who causes trouble. Two. So Miyama. Said to me oh, or yeah, I said me amo, because that's how. Hold up, let me make sure I know how things are handled. Why? No. Okay, fair. No, I'm not taking a break. Stop. Now we're off. Go away. I feel like I would have needed to write this down somewhere. Oh, the standard declension. Okay, of course I would do that. Okay. Great. Have a good one, Soton. Enjoy your work with working on servers. Amo. Me amamo. Me amamo. Me amamo. Okay. Rama me amamo. The Striker. Hadra, that is saying something. You can contribute moral joy. So me amamu. Rama me amamu. So said to the Striker, the one who strikes. Strike. Genitive. Accusative. So, and ask the striker. So what? Why do you beat your donkey? So that's sad, Majahadra. If that's the best thing that anybody has said about you, that's sad. Okay, so Miyamamu. So what reason? Osa. Osa. Ya. Osa. Humeya. 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 Why do you strike? Would I put this at the end or would I put this at the beginning? Would I put Osa? Would I put what? Why? That's the question, isn't there? That's the question, isn't it? If Soton was here, they'd be able to tell us. I think because I've already done it before, I'm just gonna stick with plopping that at the front. So Osa. Osa. If I can remember what the second person pronoun is. Cha. Osa cha. Kumea. Oh crap! I forgot that animate third person plurals need definite articles. Or just need articles. Mea, osa cha, mea. So why do you strike? Why do you return to striking? Why do you return to donkey striking? What? That works. We can just like copy this word for word. Osacha hinoi meama roi. Okay. Why do you return to the donkey striking? Why do you keep hitting your donkey? Well, is it a... Why do you beat your donkey? Okay. So I can't get away with that. But can I still get away with the genitive construction? Why do you beat? If we take like strike and... So strike is atelic. Or strike is teal. No, strike is atelic because it has a set endpoint. Okay, never mind. It's atelic. Or no, it is telic. But beat is made of strike. Beat is made of strike. Like the way I created the word beat. up here. It takes strike, and it makes it a telic, which is done by. It takes strike, which is by definition telic, and you use the genitive to make it a telic. So that's. I'm good with that. I'm good with calling that genitive. Okay, so. Mea. Osacha Humearoi. So. Strike. What? 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 What is happening? Do infinitive. Oh! Strike. Infinitive. Accusative. What? To. Second person. Oat. Strike. Donkey. Genitive. Okay. And with that, I lost track of time. So, I'm gonna have to cut it here. YouTube, come back. I'm obviously not done with translating the story, and we still have some things to iron out. So, if you enjoyed watching this, come back next time. But before you leave, go ahead and hit the like button, the subscribe button, hit the bell, do all the YouTube things. You know, go out, tell like your favorite director about me. I feel like I've already made that joke. Go out and tell your favorite teacher about me. Tell your linguistics teacher about me, and tell them that I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm making it work. So, have a good one, y'all. Have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm making it work. That's how I run things. Shout it to the world. This weirdo doesn't know what he's doing. So, here's something fun. Here's something very fun. I realized recently why Colin does this thing in between his chunks. It's to make editing easier. He does that to make editing easier. Because, oh my gosh, I have spent 15 minutes at a time just trying to figure out where a video starts and ends. So, but yeah, I figured out why Colin does that, and it's so smart. It's so smart. Tricks of the trade. It feels dirty to figure that out, you know? It's like I was given this sacred information by my own mind. Like, it feels dirty to figure it out, but like now that I know it, it's like okay. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to pull another one of these, then I'm gonna hop right into it. Three, two, one. There that. We're back. We're back doing the Corley story. The donkey beater story. Essentially, the donkey beater story is a method of reference tracking. Like making sure that your language knows how to do reference tracking. And you know, it's all right. It's English handles it a little bit clunky. Clunkily. English is a little bit clunky when it comes to doing reference tracking. But we do but it's not quite like Kea, cuz Kea happens to have no genders outside of animate or inanimate. And the problem is almost all of the nouns in this story are animate. The only noun that is not animate, I believe, or there's a few. Okay, so door, home, dinner. Okay, but anything of importance is animate. And we don't break down any distinctions in the animate gender. So, we're going to have fun with this. All right. So let's get back to translating. I realized that I broke my own grammar rule that I had strived so hard to have. So this phrase right here translates something to the effect of, why do you beat your donkey? Now, donkey is in the genitive case. Donkey is in the genitive case because it is interpreted as owning this phrase or this verb. So, I have it up here. That there's an auxiliary verb. So, when we're talking about this, my first thought just goes to plop the copula in there, right? Because it's just a general... Yes, Maja Haja, the donkey owns being beat on. It comes from... Let me think of how to describe it. So, the fact that it's in the genitive kinda encodes the meaning of, like, hey, this action might go on as long as this object exists. And that's why you do that. That's why you do the genitive. Problem is, at some point, just doing the verb without an auxiliary verb kinda ended up sounding weird to speakers of Kea. So they would plop an auxiliary verb. So, in the first sentence, it's the auxiliary verb is return. Why do you the man returns to hitting its to the donkey's beating, and then because the verb is a verb of motion, it requires a whatever it's called, a time or a place. Prepositional phrase. Marking still used as a genitive, or has it become exclusively for full marking? It is used as a genitive. So there are two object markers. One is the accusative, and that's the main object marker. But in this one singular instance, so when a verb is atealic, aka it has no set endpoint, but it is not a durative verb, aka it happens like that, you use the genitive. So essentially, it takes meaning of like instant, an instantaneous verb, a verb that happens in an instant, like strike. Like a strike is just bam. That's a strike, bam, and it's done. And it takes that, and it kind of turns it into like a, this hitting can happen for as long as this thing is, or this thing owns it. For as long as this thing keeps it, this might happen. So, but yes, the genitive is used for possession, except in these cases where you take an atealic verb. So let me just place a definition. Atealic. Why? Atealic. Atealic means having no set end point. No set end point. An activity. And instantaneous is having no duration. Having no duration, taking place in an instant. So, if you take an instantaneous verb, make that atealic, it is durative. So, durative having having a duration, taking place over time. Does this make sense? Like an imperfective possessive. I guess it's an imperfective possessive. But yeah, so I may or may not have plans to turn. So you ask, is this genitive still a genitive? Does it still function as a genitive? It does, but later in history, I think it would be interesting if we take like Mea Ro I Roi Roi, which at one point would mean, or Meyama Roi, which would mean donkey eating. And at some point in time, just have that change into Mea Ro Roi, which would mean turn that into an imperfective. Now obviously there's like no sound changes that apply, but we could say that the genitive form of the object could mark past imperfective, where the simple tense or simple aspect or whatever on the verb is used. And if we say that so the man, donkey, oh. I think it would be an interesting point of contention where, not a point of contention, but an interesting point where the subject has to be marked for something and the object has to be marked for something. So to mean that it's an imperfective, a past tense imperfective. So, long story short, the people who speak this dialect of Kea take themselves very highly. They believe that they are the best, and that they are the perfect version of the culture. So I think it would be just so ironic if the perfect people in the culture have the most scuffed tense system ever. Oh, hello. Cyrillic name. I'm not gonna say it's Russian because I don't know, but it's Cyrillic. How are you? We're doing donkey stories. Okay. So, long-winded way of saying, getting a call. Cannot take that right now. Long way of saying, this is in the genitive. We put the donkey in the genitive to mean it takes place over an amount of time. Okay. So, let's take this next sentence. The donkey beater said, "Beating is all the donkey knows. I must beat him until he learns how to behave." Okay. Ooh, mammal. Oh. Donkey Beater said, which I'm just going to. Apple. Me llamamos Apple. So, the donkey beater, the donkey beating person. So there has to be. I have to make a simpler way to say. To say. Oh my gosh, I do. Ugh. Okay. So. So said this, which is. Tokai. Tokai. Its beating is all the beating is all the donkey knows. So, me masomo. Is donkey animate or inanimate? Is this a point of like personal interpretation? Like, can we say that the donkey beater is like demoting it? Can we say that into an inanimate class? Because that would make it easier to differentiate, especially between speakers. So we could say that the neighbor puts it in the animate, and the donkey beater puts it in the inanimate. I think that would be interesting. An interesting way to I think that would be an interesting way to characterize. I'm not an author. What? Why am I talking about characterization? If it's the subject, if it is the subject of something animate, it must be inanimate. If it's the subject of something animate. What do you mean? If it's the subject of something animate? As in, like, the topic? And we, and if I leave room for, like, personal interpretation, you can say, like, you can say that, like, different idiolects kind of, like, split so that a donkey equals animate, a donkey being beaten is inanimate. Huh. Huh. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. So, let me let me figure that out a little bit more. Let me verb. Nah, no, not verbs. Do I have a derivation, noun class. There we go. Okay, so let's think about how that might work. So, animate nouns. Animate nouns sometimes switch animacy. So, we can say that animate nouns switch animacy, but inanimate nouns do not. So things that are normally inanimate, do not switch animacy, but animate nouns do. Depending on attitude of the speaker, and depending on the semantics, verb. So yeah, so Aja Hadra. Yes. Yes. So what this is, what the point of Kea is okay, so you got me. Kea, the daughter, is a proto language. I was working on the Kea family tree earlier. So but Kea is a proto language to a bunch of other languages that are going to come after it. And if I give it multiple strategies to do multiple different things, if I can make a lot more complexity in the proto language, it means that the daughter languages can be a lot more can be a lot more variable. So like if I say that say I don't know. If I say that at some point the animacy distinction becomes morphological, so like it becomes an affix rather than just a particle. Well, you could say that at some point, if one of the daughter languages of Kea starts to prefer animacy rather than just starts to prefer putting animate arguments at the beginning of a sentence. We could do some like direct inverse systems, but say that at some point the language grows out of that, and that direct inverse system ends up becoming like, I don't know, role marking. So that's an idea that I've had before with Osugitri, the other language on this channel, or the other language that I frequently will work on. So like we could do that. We could get rid of person marking, or not person marking, but role marking in daughter languages entirely. The ones that, like, maybe the one that prefers nominal tense aspect and mood marking, like that could just lose role marking entirely. I like this almost enough to reintroduce animacy into my current line, just to do something like this. Yeah, this is cool. I love this. It's simple, but it has a lot of nuance. Sorry, I don't understand English at all, but if a donkey is like someone used a donkey as a horse animal, inanimate, donkey eats grass. Animate. Exactly. Perfect. Okay. Well, after that productive time, I'm gonna say goodbye to the YouTube viewers afterwards, after this stream is over. Oh, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed me ranting about my grammar and the theoretical things behind it. Yeah, definitely check the next video when it comes out. But I hope you all enjoyed. Do all the things, like, subscribe, hit that bell, ding, and make your grandpa proud today. Make your grandpa proud. All right, have a good one. Okay. I think we can get one more video out of this. We will see. But yeah, that just turned into a rant about grammar. So I think I wouldn't have hit him if you saw him. Love that. Beautiful. I think I'm gonna quick do some examples. Or do some examples quick. This. So aro. But let's see if I can. Ooh. Jeez, I'm just gonna have to go through all of this. Oh my gosh, at some point I'm gonna have to redo all of this, and I'm not looking forward to that. So I'll leave those examples for later. And I'll just make it so that we have something to do next stream. For those of you who don't know Soton, yeah, Soton is a regular entity on this stream. Yeah, I have a fun relationship with them. Something to the effect of, no, Soton, what are you doing? Why, Soton? Yeah. Okay. So, I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna do the thing that's gonna make editing a whole bunch easier. We only saw one of them leave. We only saw one of the songs leave. Alright. I'm trapped. All sorts of chords are being... Oh, so unprofessional. So unprofessional. Oh, there we go. Alright. I'm gonna. Let's do the third YouTube video. Right. 3, 2, 1. YouTube. Been expecting you. We're doing some fun things today. We're continuing work on this story about a donkey beater. There is a high likelihood that we get almost nothing done. So I hope you enjoy my ramblings. Yeah, let's hop right into it. So the thing we're working on translating right now is Donkey Beater said, "Beating is all the donkey knows. I must beat him until he learns how to behave." What I have translated at this point is, the striking man had said this: It's beating. It's beating. It's beating. So how are we gonna say beating is all the donkey knows? Because that's highly metaphorical. That's highly metaphorical. That's definitely not like looking at the real world and saying, like, of course the donkey knows more than just getting beaten, rather. So we can work some culture into this. We can work some of K's culture into this. We can do the gods only gave the donkey its beating. So the donkey sees itself being beat often. Yeah. So we could do like a mix of like the culture deal, like the gods give it its beating often. Cool. Give o akı or give oh. So we can do the returns to giving it its beating. The god serves up a good whooping. The gods, plural. This is a polytheistic culture. Doa. What was it? Okay, so returns to, so he or noi hema, I believe. Foak. No, it's foak. とOoh. I like that Majahadra. Now here's the problem. I don't know if I have a word for to feed. I know that we have a word. I know that we have the word to give. I also know that there's some polysemy with to take, meaning to eat. So we can say that the durative meaning becomes to feed. Okay. So for to noi fo me yama somo I. Give its beating. Omo. I feel like I'm missing something with that translation. That's why, because I am. For me. For me. Oh. Some somo. Okay. To give, taking. Ooh. Hold up. We're doing that. That's happening. That is 100% happening. If the gods give you something you cannot refuse. Exactly. It's kind of like those white elephants. To feed. So for to feed once, to feed many times. For to give, taking. So for where is it? Where is it? Jeez. Where is it? There we go. Inama. That. Ooh, that's a fun word. Okay. Inama. Oinama. It's kind of like so. Um. Cyrillic. Cyrillic. Um. It's like to feed, to give food. So okay, so for yeah, selling is fun. I could do so you could say like the give taking in the instantaneous is like to feed, but then to give consistently is to sell or provide. which could also do it could also be like parent to parent. So, and then we can ultimately have that turn into to sell, but I like that it means to parent. That could be fun. So, inama. Okay. So it's full inama. So the gods return to giving. Okay, so let's just say so full inama full ina do a full ina me yama somo. I must beat him. So is that an imperative, or so first person imperative can be interpreted as a necessitative. So so ashachana ashachana so ashachana sumo. I must beat. I must. I must him, or I must it. Me. Mia. I must beat. Me ama. I must beat it until. Do we have a word? Until. No, but I have up. So I could do like until he comes up from or so it would still be an until. I must beat him. I could just say I could beat him from learning, or from misbehaving, or from causing trouble. Give and take is like mutual trade. Selling and buying together. Sumo. I could do like from beating. I must beat him from beating, or because of beating. Or from it causing trouble. I am using Crete Round. We type it in chat. Okay. This is interesting. I must beat him until he learns how to behave. How am I gonna say until? On lingers thesaurus. Let's look for time. I like how there's no... What's it? Barter. Yes. Basic actions and technology. Um... We're looking. We're looking. For time. Gonna have to come back to that. Time, okay. Do I have an until? You have an until. Do I have an until? Hour immediately. No, I do not. Okay. So, what can I do about until? Hmm. End. Ah! And we'll stop when they have learned. That. Hadra Hadra, you done solved it. You done solved it. So. Hold on. Let me gloss this. Strike. Inf. Accusative. Um. Man. Definite. Und. Peak. Complementizer. Uh. Narrative. Give. Take. Strike. Infinitive. Genitive. Accusative. Okay. Okay. So we have that glossed so I don't, like, lose my thought process. Okay, and we'll stop. And we'll hold. What did I say? Hold yourself. And I will hold myself. I will hold myself there. Asha. What was it? What did I say up here? Omafake. Yes. I beat them. When they have learned, I will stop. Yes, we... That could 100% be taken out of context, given the context of the story. So Asha... My gosh, I went up. Omafa. Omafake. So hold that. Hold that. Oma. Fa. Ash. Shamo. Yes. It is. That is very good. Shamo. I really did nothing with irregularity in this language, and I really need to go back and work on that. Ashao Mafa Ashamo. What's body? It's Iyo. Correct. Yeah, Iyo. Yo. Ashamo. And I will stop myself. The subjunctive. I could take a subjunctive like he. Or oa. Like oa. Oa. Tomo. If he learns. Or holds causing trouble. Holds fighting. Holds fighting. So O Mama Fa. O Mama Fa. Fa. That's... Oh, yeah. Because that's how I did that. O Mama Fa. So, if he stops, or, jeez, Omafa. Wait, what? Oh, you can tell that I'm tired. Why did that get a prefix? I am so confused. We're not gonna worry about it. We're not gonna worry about it. Omama Fa. When he holds. Me ama. Okay. So me ama. Okay. Soton would be able to tell me why my own language does prefixes. That... No, it's probably something like the way that the stress ended up. It's like, because I did that. I did that. Out of all the things I didn't do with Kea, I did stress rules. Okay. If Miyama so subjunctive hold yeah, I'll just, since it's derivational, hold oh wait, yeah, no, I can do that though. Hold fight infinitive accusative. So that translates to something like I will hold my body. I will hold my body if it holds misbehaving. So many M's. So many M's. There's also a whole bunch of K's. It also doesn't help that a bunch of morphology is just or n. So ma or mo or na or no. Go in here. Yeah, there's a bunch that are just like one sound off, like bo and ho. Those are just one sound off. Um ah. Holding is interpreted as like holding yourself. It's so holding your body is referred to last stream you said hugging yourself requires you to stop doing whatever you're doing. So that's what the idea is here. It's that I'm holding my body. Um okay. So I think that this would be a good time to cut a YouTube video. So I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube. YouTube, we finished a sentence. we finished a sentence with a whole bunch of distractions. Somehow I ended up finishing a sentence. So um yeah, if you enjoyed watching me get distracted, and you want to see more of it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and if you liked the video, like the video. Just do it. You don't have to do anything afterwards. But if you want to tell somebody about me, go ahead and do that. I try to be entertaining, to varying degrees of success depending on how tired I am. So we're doing all right. So have a good one. I'll see you later. Well, we have 20 minutes. What shall we do in 20 minutes? Does anybody have suggestions? Hold up, let me do the thing. Any suggestions on what we should do for the last 20 minutes? Do we want to do some? Do we want to do some stream? Stream. Oh my gosh, I can't think of what it's called. Stream specific or stream stream only content. Work on a language family tree. Cause that could be interesting. Yes, no. Not. It's app.diagrams.net. Hold up, let me type it. Let me type it. Cause I just found it on the I found it on r/conlangs. Boom. So, yeah, I just found this. And I am very glad I did, because holy crap. This is a godsend. I'm see, I tried to use Soton had shown me this software. And I tried to make a language family tree in here. Now the problem. Oh, you've been doing yours in PowerPoint. The problem with that is that Kea has a very interesting history. Where there are two branches of modern Kea. Modern, standard Kea. So there's the one that Soton's working on, which is Northern. And then there's the branch I'm working on. Standard. Here's the problem, though. Both Northern and Standard Kea split from another okay. Let me think of how best to describe this, because oop, 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 oop. Standard, right? So this like it's interesting, because this standard is spoken at the same time as Northern, right? I can't unbranch the lineages. I don't know what you mean by that, Hadra Hadra. But like, so yeah, this standard Oh my gosh, what am I talking about? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. Neither do I. So, I I think this makes sense for what I'm doing. Uh, West, Western, Oceanic, and then Eastern. Yeah, Majahadra. It's interesting because it's very. This is very much set up as a syntax tree generator. It's almost like that's what it's for. So, it's just. But ultimately, this is what I had it set up as, right? So, hold up. Bam. Oh, hello, Soton. You have returned on me trying to explain why I can't use a syntax tree generator to develop a language family tree because of your dialect. You have a family tree. Give it. Soton, give it. And what you missed is we ended up doing two sentences. Um, hold up, let me pull up Discord. So there we go. Hold up. Uh oh. I forgot about that. Whoa! No freaking way! Oh my gosh, this is just. Oh my gosh! No freaking way! Oh my gosh! This is fantastic! Okay. I think I understand how this works. Yeah, that's generally what I do, Sultan. I'm trying to get a vibe of how this works. Okay. So, let me just pop another one. So, I'm guessing this just means like a. Hold up. Well, let's check. So, Protokea, does this support? Does. Okay. Damn. Am I just making this harder for myself? Okay, I need to come up with a timeline. We need to come up with a timeline, Soton. We need to come up with a timeline. Cause like when is standard versus northern spoken? Cause standard, the family tree looks something to this extent. Oceanic. Okay. So here's this Kea. This is this. Protopule. So what we could do was that a sound change I actually made? Hold up. I did! Okay, so hold up. Let me figure out a point. Northern had palato-alveolar to alveolar, but standard didn't. Yes. Yes. So it would have to split. Okay, hold on. So where is the big point? There. That's the big point of separation. So gonna you moved the palatal to alveolar to be later? Okay, hold up. Ah! Okay, yeah. I'm cool with that happening later. So the big split. The big split is before this, before these geminate liquids into just fortifying. So geminate liquid fortification. So it would happen before that. So from the CVC to the BCCV. Where is that? Yes. Yeah. Okay. So Soton has control over this. No, it isn't a minor thing. I recognize this. Oh! Oh, you got rid of him. You got rid of him. Why would you do that? Okay. Soton, we are going to have to talk more about this. But we do have to end the stream. So, I hope everybody enjoyed. Not all of them. I hope everybody enjoyed. I know I did. I had fun doing this, like, thing. So, yeah. Have a good one, y'all.